The fight that nobody believed would happen has somehow become one of the most talked about events in combat sports. Jake Paul versus Gervonta Tank Davis. Two men from entirely different worlds. One born from the lights of YouTube, the other forged in the unforgiving shadows of the boxing gym. And yet here they are, their paths converging in a single moment that feels both absurd and electrifying. For Jake, it's a chance to prove to the world that he's more than an entertainer pretending to fight. For Tank, it's a reminder that no matter how big or famous someone becomes, skill and legacy will always come first. Jake Paul says this is the first camp where he actually feels at peace, where he can enjoy himself and feel like a real fighter again. His tone isn't the cocky YouTuber we once knew. It's quieter, sharper, almost reflective. He talks about headspace, about maturity, about being in the best mental shape of his career. He's grown stronger, more disciplined, and by his own words, he's a different specimen. The long days of training twice a day, 6 or 7 times a week, have turned him into a legitimate athlete. His body has filled out, his conditioning is peaking, and for the first time, Jake looks and sounds like a man who understands what it takes to survive in this brutal sport. But even with all that growth, Jake admits something that feels almost alien coming from his mouth. Fear. He says Tank is dangerous, not just skilled, dangerous. People often mock Gervonta's size, call him small, say he's too short to hang with bigger men. Jake refuses to join that chorus. Instead, he calls Tank a top 10 pound-for-pound fighter, a man with equal power in both hands, someone who's been perfecting his craft since before Jake ever threw a real punch. For Jake to confess that stepping into the ring with Tank keeps him up at night, reveals a side we rarely see: vulnerability. The arrogance has faded. In its place stands a fighter aware of the mountain he's about to climb. Jake has brought in a world-class team to prepare him for this mountain. Names like Shakur Stevenson and Raymond Ford have joined his camp to simulate Tank's speed, explosiveness, and ring IQ. The focus, Jake says, is on speed and agility, not brute strength. He's losing muscle to gain quickness, understanding that against a fighter like Davis, timing will matter more than power. But even as he trains with elite champions, reports suggest that those sparring sessions haven't been easy. Ford, smaller yet faster, has reportedly gotten the better of Jake in the ring. That gap in experience is where Tank thrives, because Tank Davis isn't just another power puncher, he's an assassin in disguise. Behind the explosive knockouts lies one of the sharpest boxing minds in the sport. He's the kind of fighter who can make you miss by an inch and punish you for it instantly. Analysts and insiders tell stories that sound almost mythical. Tank sparring with heavyweights, men twice his size, and not just surviving, dominating. In one infamous account, a heavyweight sparring partner ended up draped over the ropes after Tank landed a shot so clean it froze him mid-air. "I thought he died," one witness admitted. These aren't legends. They're warnings. Tank Davis doesn't care about size. He dismantles it. Showbiz the adult, one of boxing's most respected commentators, explained it best. Tank has fought bigger, stronger, more technical opponents in sparring than Jake Paul will ever be. Jake may have the muscles, the reach, and the fame, but Tank has lived this life since childhood. He's been fighting killers in the gym for over a decade. The canvas is his home, and Jake is walking into it like a visitor. Tank himself seems unconcerned. His focus isn't just this fight, it's evolution. He's done with cutting down to 135 pounds. The weight drains him, dulls his edge. Now at 140, he feels reborn. His punches crack with more force, his endurance lasts longer, and his confidence is unshakable. He's not chasing validation anymore. He's chasing greatness. Fighting Jake Paul isn't a step down, it's a global showcase. After this, Tank plans to take over the super lightweight division, a place where he believes he can deliver not just knockouts, but statements. Still, this fight has stirred chaos across the boxing world. Critics like Shakur Stevenson were among the loudest to slam Tank for even entertaining Jake Paul. To them, this wasn't boxing, it was theater. But when Jake offered Shakur a hefty paycheck to help him train, the criticism disappeared overnight. Money, as it turns out, changes everything. Now, the same man who mocked the fight is helping Jake prepare for it, sparking outrage among fans who see hypocrisy in his every move. Analysts point out that Shakur's sudden involvement is no accident, it's business. Align yourself with Jake, get paid, stay relevant. But it raises a deeper question. Where does pride end and opportunism begin? Even Offset weighed in, adding another layer to the debate. He believes Jake's size and strength give him a real shot, that one clean punch could change everything. But he also acknowledges Tank's precision and defensive brilliance, admitting that Jake might not even land that punch. It's a classic contrast: raw size versus refined skill, spectacle versus science. And somewhere between those two extremes lies the truth. This fight is unpredictable because both men are walking contradictions. As betting odds surface, the numbers tell an intriguing story. Tank Davis opens as a modest favorite at 205, while Jake Paul stands at 111.55. Surprisingly close for a fight between a world champion and a former influencer. It speaks to how much respect Jake has earned in the public eye and how dangerous Tank remains in the ring. The size difference is obvious. Tank stands at 5'7", Jake at 6'3". But what those numbers don't show is timing, rhythm, accuracy, the invisible weapons that Tank has mastered. Meanwhile, the rumors around the money have reached near-mythic proportions. Some outlets claim each man could walk away with $150 to $200 million, figures that analysts immediately dismiss as fantasy. Netflix, which is reportedly hosting the event, has deep pockets, but even the biggest stars in boxing history haven't touched those numbers. Realistically, experts estimate somewhere between $20 and $40 million per fighter. Still astronomical, but not absurd. For Tank, it's a well-earned payday for years of dominance. For Jake, it's another reminder that controversy, spectacle, and confidence can sell fights just as effectively as titles. And perhaps that's what makes this matchup so fascinating. Beneath the noise, the criticism, and the laughter, both men share the same hunger. Tank fights to prove he's still the most feared name under 150 pounds. Jake fights to prove he belongs in the same conversation as real boxers. For one night, they'll meet in the middle. Fame versus legacy, size versus speed, showmanship versus skill. When the bell rings, none of the memes or press conferences will matter. Only timing, courage, and heart will. Jake Paul's loud words and newfound humility will meet Tank Davis's silence and violence. And when the smoke clears, only one man's hand will rise. So what do you think? Will Jake's size and determination shock the world? Or will Tank remind everyone why skill always conquers spectacle? Drop your predictions in the comments below, and let's hear who you're backing in this colossal crossover clash. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe for more breakdowns of boxing's biggest showdowns, and ring the notification bell so you never miss the moment when the impossible becomes reality. Because in this fight, only one thing is certain: someone's legacy will never be the same again.